Committee on Parole is called back to order. Today's date is February the 2nd of 2023. The time is 12:09. Members of the panel today are Ms. Pearl Wise, Mr. Pete Freeman. My name is Tony Marabella. I'll be acting as chair. Our remote location is Tensaw Detention Center. With the staff at Tensaw, please introduce themselves. Mr. Griffin, is there anyone in there with you?
Yes. The Major Antonio Johnson.
Thank you, Major.
Good morning. How y'all doing? Good afternoon.
We're doing very good. Thank you. Our next case is going to be Mr. Jarious Jammal Griffin. Mr. Griffin, would you please give me your full name and DOC number?
Jarious Jammal Griffin, 468-273, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, Mr. Griffin. Mr. Griffin, let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read some information into the record. Then we're going to conduct a parole interview with you.
Yes, sir.
At the end of that interview, you'll have an opportunity to say whatever you'd like to say to the board if you wish to say anything, and then we'll vote. You understand our procedure?
Yes, sir.
This is the matter of Jarious Griffin, DOC number 468-273, date of birth June 21st of 1985. He's classified as a fourth felony offender. He has a parole eligibility date of December the 20th of 2022, an adjusted good time date of July 13, 2024, and a full term date of December the 20th of 2037. He is currently serving a 20-year sentence on the charges of, possession with intent to distribute cocaine, distribution of cocaine, possession with intent to distribute cocaine, possession with intent to distribute heroin, and distribution of methamphetamines. He was revoked on several of those charges and sentenced on July 13th of 2018. Mr. Griffin, is this information basically correct?
Yes, sir, except my birthday is October 21st, 1985.
Let me say, I must have, what's your birthday?
October 10th.
Okay, your master record has June, but it's actually October?
Yes, sir. They have it on my rap sheet too. They have June.
Rap sheet has June as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll note, Department of Corrections can see if they can correct that. Mr. Griffin, your case has been assigned to me, so I'll begin our interview process. How old are you, Mr. Griffin?
37 years old, sir.
And how long have you been in prison on these charges?
5 years and 3 months.
Tell me a little bit about your educational background. How far did you go in high school?
11th grade, but I got my GED while I was incarcerated.
When did you get your GED?
In 2015.
That's before you were paroled out?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of work have you done in the past?
Like physical work on the street? Like
Work, yeah.
Oh, I'm a barber.
Yeah. Anything you've done to make a living besides your drug dealing?
Oh, I'm a barber and I do lawn care service.
And did you ever work as a barber?
Yes, sir.
How long did you work as a barber?
I've been cutting hair since I was 12 years old.
I understand that, but did you ever have a job as a barber? Do you just occasionally cut people's hair?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At my house, I have a room in my house where I cut hair.
And what about your lawn service?
Yeah, I cut with my uncle. My uncle is really his lawn care service, but I work under him.
Okay. Do you do drugs?
I used to.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. When did you start doing drugs?
Probably about 17, 18 years old.
What did you start out?
Smoking marijuana.
You ever progressed to anything more than that?
Yes, sir. I was snorted cocaine before.
What else?
A couple pills.
Heroin?
Oh, yeah, I tried it. Yes, sir.
How often were you doing drugs at 17?
I used to smoke marijuana almost every day.
Okay, when you came to jail the first time, when you came to jail in 2014, was it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when you came to jail in 2014, what kind of drugs were you using then?
Marijuana and cocaine.
How often were you using cocaine?
Every now and then, like weekends. I mostly was on marijuana
And how often were you using marijuana? Every day?
every day. Yes, sir.
How long you been selling drugs?
Couple of years, about since I was about 17.
And you've sold drugs almost regularly since you were 17. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Just trying to make extra money, sir. And I had a drug addiction, so it went hand in hand. I'm gonna be honest.
You keep saying I had a drug addiction, and you kept saying I used to use drugs. You're not addicted anymore?
No, sir. I've been
And
incarcerated.
how did that happen? What kind of magic pill did you take that got you cured of addiction?
Now I've been taking programs. I took a couple of classes, risk management 1 and 2. I took that last year, and that helped me a little bit.
Okay, well, when you got out in when did you get out? 2017?
16.
16.
Yes,
You had already taken a lot of drug programs then, but you went right back to doing drugs.
yes, sir.
Why?
I guess the lifestyle I live.
So how come all of a sudden Louisiana risk management was a magic bullet that made you cured of being an addict?
Because I've been in jail 5 years, sir.
Well, how long were you in jail before that? How long have you been in jail? Let's talk about your arrest. You've been arrested 15 times. You have 10 felony convictions and 2 misdemeanor convictions. How long have you served in prison altogether?
About 10 years.
10 years, okay? So you've been in prison, say you've been in prison 5 years, you were in prison at least 5 years before that.
Yes,
So
sir.
why all of a sudden you're cured?
I just feel I'm ready.
Feel ready for what?
I'm ready to re-enter society and prove to myself and to society that I could be a positive, productive member of society.
Okay,
Since
well,
I've been
those
here,
words sound nice, but what are you going to do to stay off of drugs?
change the people and the places I'm around,
What else?
and change the way I think, and where I hang out at, my friends, change everything about that, and focus on my barber career and try to get me a barber shop and open me a successful barbershop business.
Well, let me ask you something. Didn't you learn that in Living in Balance 1 and 2?
Somewhat, yes.
Didn't you learn that in Celebrate Recovery?
Yes, sir.
Didn't you learn that in problem solving?
Yes, sir.
Didn't you learn that in goal setting,
Yes, sir.
anger management, Gauge Your Age?
Yes, sir. I took that on this.
That's all the programs you took before you got paroled, and you went right back to selling and using drugs.
Yes,
So
sir.
why is this going to be different? What was so magic about Louisiana risk factors?
I'm older and wiser now. I'm 37 years old. Back then, I was in my 20s.
I don't think so. And you've been in jail for 5 years, and 37, you were 32 when you did this.
Yes, sir.
Well, you weren't in your 20s then. You might have been in your 20s earlier than that.
Yeah, I'm talking about my prior incarceration time.
Tell me what you've learned while you've been in prison. What was so good about Louisiana risk management that it's this magic bullet that you're cured now?
It helped me learn a lot about myself.
What did you learn about yourself?
that I be easy influenced and I manipulate. I used to be a manipulator, manipulate situations to get what I want, to get drugs and to manipulate people to help me get drugs and sell drugs and help me, I really, this time when I took the class, I really paid attention. The last time, to be honest, I wasn't paying attention. So I just try to get the good time. And
So you pay attention now because you've been in prison for 5 years and you're looking at serving, what, a 20-year sentence?
yes, sir.
So that 20-year sentence is what kind of got your attention, and now you're cured.
Yes, sir, most definitely. That's the longest time I ever did. And I lost a lot of people since I've been in here, and I'm the only child, and I'm tired of putting my family through this back and forth, have to send me money, take care of me. I'm supposed to be taking care of them.
Let me ask you this. What effect do you think your drug dealing has had on the people you've been selling drugs to?
Almost the same effect it have on me.
What does that mean?
Bad situation all the way around the board, sir.
Now, you were distributing heroin?
Yes, sir.
How many people do you think have died for overdoses of heroin?
A lot.
How many people do you think you sold to that have died from overdoses of heroin?
Probably a lot.
That never bothered you before?
No, not really, because I used to do it too. So, when you doing it too, you're not gonna look at it that way. Whenever you have a drug addiction and other people have a drug addiction that you're selling it to, you're not gonna look at it like a sober-minded person to look at it.
Now, tell me what, if you were to be released early, tell me what steps you're going to take. Tell me what you're going to do. What's the first thing you're going to do to stay sober? And you told me you change your people places, hang with good people. You told me all of those things. What else are you going to do?
Oh man, I think I just put all my time, all of my energy doing positive things, working on my barbershop, to be honest. But that's the
Didn't
only
you do
thing.
all those things before?
Huh? Excuse
Didn't
me?
you do all of those things before?
Not wholeheartedly and full focus with it.
So you think it's just a matter of focus?
Focus and a positive mindset.
Think
Tunnel
drugs are a choice?
Excuse
You
me?
can make a choice. Drugs are a choice. You think you can just have willpower and quit doing drugs?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's your plan, basically. Stay away from some of your old friends and have strong willpower and go back to barbering and stuff.
And change my mindset, yes, sir.
Change your mindset.
It all starts with me,
How
decision
change
and
mindset?
choices I make.
What did you learn in victim accountability? That's a class that you took since you've been in prison this last time.
Victim accountability. You talking about in the risk management phase 1 and 2?
No, and you took, it's my understanding that my records reflect that you took, let me see what page it says. 57. I'll get to it. You took on November the 16th of 2021, you completed victim accountability letter training. Don't remember doing that?
No, sir. I took
Apparently, that's not a very good program. Nobody seems to remember it. Okay, all right.
the only class I took
That's
since
all the
I've been
questions
here.
I have. That's all the questions I have.
I have.
Okay, go ahead.
Jarious, when I was looking at your record, you were in work release for 1 day. What happened in Livingston?
Oh, they forgot to send my blood pressure and my fluid medication. So they sent me back to the jail I was at River Bend.
Then they never did send you back.
Never sent me back. They sent me to a different one like a week later.
So what work release program you in?
I was in West Feliciana. in San Francisville, Louisiana. San Francisco,
Oh,
West Feliciana Parish in San Francisville, Louisiana.
well, I see that now. What happened there?
I stayed there like 7, 8 months, and I had caught a contraband charge.
Do you remember when the contraband, when was that one?
That was in 2021.
Yeah.
September.
Yeah, you got there March 18th of 21, then in September you got because of a contraband.
Yes,
What was
sir.
the contraband?
It was some synthetic marijuana and some cocaine. And
A bundle of drugs, right? It was a bundle of,
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
so you was back to your old trade.
No, ma'am. It was in a bag that was on the van, and I brought the bag back to the jail and got caught with it. It was a lunch bag that was on the van.
But you realize though, you know, for me on the
Yeah, I know.
outside looking in,
I
it
know.
looked like drug dealing.
Yes, I know, ma'am.
But you telling me what it looked like is not what it is.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
I guess what it is, however you look at it.
No, you tell me. You the one did it. Well, what was it?
I guess it was a drug deal.
Mm. Mm-hmm. But you know, it would have been a lot easier for me if you came before me and you were still in work release. Trying to change your life would have been a lot easier for me. That's all I have. Answer my question. I hope take care of that blood pressure.
Mr. Griffin, let's continue to talk about that. Tell me where these drugs were.
In the van at the jail.
How did you get them?
Huh?
How did you get them?
It was on the seat when I got off the van. I brought it back in the jail.
How did you transport them back into the jail?
I had it in my pants.
What about April 30th of 2020, Mojo?
Yes, sir.
Smoking Mojo?
No, sir.
What were you doing with the Mojo?
It was by my bed at the workplace. I was at work. When they found that I wasn't even in the dorm, I was at work. No, it's in the paperwork. They brought me back took me back from I was working on the yard crew at the Quincy cutting grass. They took me back from where I was at on my lunch break and brought me to the dorm and searched the bed and had a little bottle of Mojo on side the bed.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to say before we let's see, someone there with you again?
The major.
Can you tell us anything about Major Johnson? Can you tell us anything about Jarious?
He hasn't been giving me no problems. That's basically all I can say. He hasn't been failing no drug tests or anything like that.
Okay, good. Thank you. Mr. Griffin, is there anything you'd like to say before the board votes?
I just want to let y'all know, I know my situation might not look like a good situation because all my prior drug situations, but I just want to prove to y'all, prove to myself that if I'm re-entered to society, that I could be positive in my community and make a change in my life, and I probably could make changes in somebody else's life. But I'm 100% sure I never come back to jail unless it's coming back to talk to the youth, be a mentor or something like that. So I spent almost all my life, all my 20s and almost all my 30s in jail.
All right.
I've been coming to jail since I was like 23 years old. I'm tired for a change.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. I appreciate your comments. Now ready to vote?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Griffin, as I look at your record, that you've got 15 arrests, 10 felony convictions, 2 misdemeanor convictions. You've got a 20-year sentence. You served 5 years on that. You were paroled out in 2016, I think you told me, 2017. Before your parole, you had taken many good programs in the Department of Corrections. You go back out, you go right back out to selling drugs and using drugs. You come back to prison, you take a couple of classes, and all of a sudden you're cured as a drug addict. Yet on April the 30th of 2020, you got written up for mojo, which you say, oh, just happened to be in your bed while you were working. And then on September the 6th of 2021, you were caught, made to squat out of your pants, came mojo, meth, possibly heroin, and $27. Yet you're cured. And drugs to you is a choice. It's not a disease. It's not something that you're going to have a problem with because you're going to will your way through it. Mr. Griffin, you just need a lot more work. I am not convinced that you have accepted the fact that you are a drug addict, that you have accepted the fact that you are a drug dealer, and the horrible effect that you have had on the community. When you can sit there with kind of a smile on your face and tell me, oh yeah, I probably killed a lot of people with my heroin sales, that really concerns me. So I think you just got a lot more work to do. My vote today is going to be to deny your parole. Ms. Wise?
Mr. Griffin, I hear what you're saying. I want to be positive in the community. I want to make a change. Start now. Start in the community where you are. Be quiet now. We're voting. We're voting. Start in the community where you are. Start doing the stuff you're saying in the community where you are. Speak to the younger guys, be an example. Start that now. My vote is denied as well. Poor supervision history. You have law enforcement opposition. You have a moderate tiger. That is my vote.
My vote's the same due to a supervision record in the write-up on 9/21.
Mr. Griffin, you have 3 votes to deny your parole. Your parole has been denied, but we encourage you to continue to work hard and look inside and see what really is going on with you. Because drugs are a disease. It's not something that you will and you stop doing. So you first need to accept the fact that you're a drug addict and you will forever be a drug addict, and you need to get some help. So good luck to you, sir. Close out at 10 Saw. Thank you very much, Major Johnson.
I'm not sure there's anything he could have done to have gotten approved for this with that record. During the interview, I thought, some of his answers were quite genuine. They almost seemed scripted, like he knew what to say. When he said how dealing, how he wasn't bothered by the deaths of heroin because he was using it, and when it's if you're an addict on it, you don't really think about it selling to other addicts. And that was like an authentic answer.
No, it's fine.
And I thought, he must have been scripted. But then following it, they said, well, how are you going to stop? And he didn't. He had the worst answer. What he needed to do was start talking about AA, and he didn't. And I was like, okay, no, he is not prepared at all. But they were never going to let him out. I don't think, even if he had gone in preaching about AA and they thought he was authentic with all of those write-ups. I mean, the guy's literally dealing inside a prison. I don't know why he thought he would have had a chance. He's going to get out in 2037 unless he gets another chance at it and he flips his life around, but not a good look. All right. With that, I'll let you go.